Cameras don't roll, but the people tune in, cause Gerod let it unfold. From the jazz in the streets to the smoke in the sky, the wall still fighting, still holding it high. And the city feels seen every time that he speak, cause the truth hit harder when it finally run deep. Now the whole town riding with the station on loud, hands high while they sing every word through the crowd. Can you feel the city breathing? Every late night conversation, through the speakers, through the rain. Ooh, New Orleans, don't sound the same. Gerod on the radio, whole city vibing slow. Late night lights in New Orleans glow. Everybody listen close. Gerod on the radio, truth in the speakers for sure. From the bayou streets to the corner store, whole city locked in. Yeah. You're now rocking with Gerod, the voice they couldn't silence. New Orleans, stand up.
Whoa, now. What you say, good people? What's going on with you? It is Monday. Time to get it on and get it in and just get it, baby. We're going to get it. Why? Because that's what we do. That's just what we do. My name's Gerard Stevens. Glad to be with you. My cohort in crime, she is just a minute away. She's outside handling some business and going to be right up in here to have some more conversation with you as well. Hope everybody had a great weekend. And I got to tell you, this heat has been deafening. It has been deafening. And I don't know about you, but I would say that this is one of the hottest, if not the hottest, summertime that we have had in a long time. Good Lord, and good Lord. What is going on with us? What's happening with us? All these weekend shootings, we are starting to have more weekend shootings. And let me put it in perspective for you. Because at some point, and this might sound a little prejudiced to some folks, but I'm sorry if it does. I'm starting to see more of us in mass shootings. Have you noticed that? Have you noticed? When did we start doing a whole bunch of mass shootings? When mass shootings are happening now, I'm starting to say, Lord, please don't let that be us. And then it do, when you least expect it. Because most of the time when I see or hear mass shootings, I don't think us. I really don't. And then when I see it, I'm surprised. I really am. And that to me has been something I'm starting to see pick up a little bit more than usual. Why? Are we starting to get and feel the pains and I guess the stress of this economy that we living in? What is going on? And so, with that being said, something that happened too on Friday, I think that was on Friday, where we saw these young boys that called themselves exploring into the World Trade Tower, whatever that is. What is that? The Plaza Tower? And with that Plaza Tower, they said they got some steps in there, some stairs that don't have any railings. And one of those young boys that called himself a YouTuber went inside, and then another young man fell to his death. he fell off the stairs and killed himself. A 17-year-old boy fell down the staircase, down the Plaza Tower. And then another one was hospitalized with injuries. What y'all doing in there? What you trying to find? Is that something that, you can put on YouTube and make a whole bunch of money with people visiting it? hmm. Hmm. So I don't know what we're trying to do, but you are giving your life to try to get hits. Now, the other thing, too, that we want to talk about is that we had 3 candidates that are running for office that they say are disqualified from the Orleans Parish races for failure to file taxes. This comes in from the NOLA.com staff writer Matt Bruce, and that was within the last 47 minutes. It says New Orleans criminal magistrate Judge Wanda Lombard was disqualified from the race to retain her seat after her opponent in the November 3rd election proved that she failed to file her state income taxes in 2023. Lombard, who is the Orleans Parish Criminal District Court's chief judge, was one of the hopefuls removed from their respective races at the end of the separate hearings at Orleans Parish Civil District Court on Monday. Civil District Court Judge Omar Mason booted Mark Laws from the race for constable of First City Court. Edward Washington was disqualified from his bid to unseat Judge Jennifer Medley after fellow Judge Monique Barriel ruled against him. Lombard was the only sitting incumbent of the 2 to be ousted after Judge Veronica Henry sided against her claims that she thought her accountant filed her tax return. Immediately after Monday's hearing, Lombard's attorney, Jerome Matthews, lodged a petition to challenge the ruling at the Fourth Circuit Court of Appeal. Henry granted Lombard a stay while the appeal is underway, so Lombard can continue to run her campaign at a crucial juncture when candidates are lobbying for endorsements. We're confident that we're in the right, and hopefully an appellate court will agree, Lombard said. She walked out of the courtroom. Lombard testified for over an hour during what she thought she believed she filed her taxes for the past 5 years, as required by law. When she qualified to run this month, that was in part because her accountant of the past 17 years submitted her 2023 state and federal tax returns at the same time after preparing them for her. Lombard, in fact, was granted a $374 income tax refund on a federal filing because she'd overpaid the IRS, she testified. That made her rest assured that her state taxes have been filed as well, despite not hearing anyone back from the Louisiana Department of Revenue. Lombard said that she didn't become aware of the lapse in tax state filings until Chanel DeBose filed a civil lawsuit last Thursday challenging her candidacy. DeBose became the final candidate in Orleans Parish to officially declare for office, qualifying to run against Lombard just minutes before the 3-day qualifying period ended August 7th. After listening to testimony, Henry noted that election codes should be liberally interpreted to grant candidates as much leeway to remain on the ballot so that voters have competitive elections. But Henry said Lombard's defense that she was simply under the belief that her accountant put her returns in the mail was not enough to convince her. After over 4 hours of testimony, the court considered the evidence and credibility of each witness and made the right decision, a spokesperson for DeBose's campaign said in a statement. DeBose, who's 55, is a native of the Calliope housing projects, whose legal career dates back to 1999. For the past 10 years, she's been a prosecuting attorney for the State Board of Embalmers and Funeral Directors, and began taking on criminal cases as a conflict attorney for the Orleans Public Defender's Office last year. Now, Chanel Robinson DeBose will continue engaging her voters across our city as she continues her promise to bring much-needed change to magistrate court, the campaign spokesman had said. There's more to come, and there's more to come. So, out of the three candidates, Judge Juana Maureen Lombard still got a ways to go. And it looks like the other two, Mark Laws and Edward Washington, have been disqualified from their bid to unseat Judge Jennifer Medley after fellow Judge Monique Barrio ruled against him. Whoa. So does that mean that we're getting ready to see new blood? Is it time to see new blood? How y'all feeling? But is that just something for a lot of folks to say, that's just a technicality? Is that a technicality? Or do you want to see some new judges? Yeah, I'll think about that for a minute. This means at least 2 or 3 people are going to be in office this time that are new. Not the same old, same old. How are you feeling about that part? Because that's going to be interesting. That's going to be interesting to see. A new constable and maybe a brand new magistrate judge. What you think? That's T-Bone? All right, T-Bone, what's going on? You early today.
Hey, I figure I'd get it in because I got to get some beer and some fishing on after today, bro.
What?
It's been one of them days, though.
You going fishing?
Well, we're going to do a little recon. We're going to check a spot. I'm not going to throw nothing in the water.
That's a good idea. That's what I want to go do. I keep saying that one weekend I'm going to get up and I'm going to go fishing and just get me a couple of boys that want to go out there and get on a boat or even stand on the bank. But I've been too lazy. I didn't do it yet. And this would have been a perfect weekend.
Oh, bruh. Fishing is the lazy man sport. I'm about to let you know.
Yep.
Put your bait on, throw it out, sit it on the side, put a little bell on it. If something hit it, the bell ring, ding, ding, dinner time.
So, I don't know. I just thought about it, but I ain't mean to take over. What you saying? What you got?
Well, I think I'm not going to be arrogant about it, but I'm willing to bet there's a lot of voters that already feel the same way I'm about to say. I want new people altogether. I don't want the same people running over and over and over and over. People that's been running 20 years. Sometimes going out of office, coming back. If you're a good person for your district, for your area that you represent, I got no problem with you running.
Mm-hmm.
But some of the same people who have done stuff wrong in the past just continue to run. And because they got a little name recognition, they continue to get back into office. I've said it before. A lot of New Orleans voters just vote on name recognition alone. They
Mm-hmm.
don't check platform. They don't check the people record. They just vote their name.
Well,
And here's the thing: if you keep making the same sandwich, ain't you eating the same sandwich over and over again? Don't you want something different?
and
Something
wasn't
better?
it? It wasn't too long ago when we were sitting back though, T-Bone. I have to remind people sometime because it's so much stuff that goes on in this city that we forget about what happened. And I can remember it wasn't too long ago that one of the things that happened with this issue with Susan Hudson is that Susan said, "Listen, I know y'all want to start weekend magistrate court, but we don't have the money to pay for the guards because you got to have guards. You got to have them at the sheriff's office. You got to have them to transport. You got to have these guys there, and we got to pay for it. And they're not giving us the budget, so
Hello.
we can't do it." And
Mhm.
and then because she said that, what wasn't it the magistrate court that issued a subpoena to Susan, telling her that she was in violation of court if she didn't supply the bailiffs and the folks at the courthouse. And she said, "Listen, I don't want to go through this, and here's an easier way for everybody. You all just come to the jail instead of us having to transport everybody over there. We'll save a whole bunch of money for the city, and you'll save a whole bunch of money for OPSO if you just come over to the jail because we got 2 brand new courtrooms in OJC. Instead of us transporting all these folks, all you got to do is just come over there and we just bring them downstairs. It'll save everybody money. It'll save us in gas money. It'll save us in manpower. It'll save us in wear and tear on the equipment when all of us are just trying to. They ain't want to hear it. They daggone put a subpoena on her that said that she was in violation of what the judges said. I said, y'all talking about the sheriff. Y'all ain't talking about just the inky dinky winky person. You're talking about the sheriff. And that came from the magistrate's office.
I'm gonna say it in old folks speak. You're the radio guy. You've been in radio forever.
Well, thank you.
What you told me, nothing from nothing means nothing. Billy Preston, right? So if nothing from nothing means nothing, if you keep doing nothing, what you gonna get?
Nothing.
Nothing different. So if you're sitting up there doing stuff bass ackways since day one, how you expect it to change if you continuing to do the bass ackways steps, people?
Mm.
I just don't understand the mind thought of politicians or even the shadow elite sometimes. I know they want their way. I know a lot of them are rich folk who can't get told no, and they have that old white long green, and that's why they don't like no. The minute somebody tells them no, whether it's somebody that's got a name or don't have a name, if you notice, that's when people end up on charges. They want to take them to court. This is a rich man or rich woman's move. Anytime they get a no, they take it to court.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what's happening. Okay? Now, again, back to the voting thing. If you're going to keep putting the same people in office, folks, whether you know their name or not, you're not going to get the same results. Einstein says the insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. I'm not trying to be philosophical. That's facts. If I'm trying to ride a bike barefooted and I'm constantly busting my feet, why am I still doing it? If I got pants that don't fit me with no belt and they keep falling off my ass, am I going to get a belt? I'm going to still keep walking around with those pants falling off me.
Mm.
If you keep getting drunk every Friday night, getting white people wasted with clear liquor, drinking Everclear, like you the Beverly Hillbillies. When the doctor tells you your kidney is about to quit on you, sir, you need to change your lifestyle. And you go back out after the doctor told you that during the week.
Mm-hmm.
And you still get white boy wasted, whether you black or not.
Right.
Does it make sense to you? Let's stop doing what don't make sense, y'all. Let's change it up. Let's just try.
Mm-hmm.
I suggested something a while back. None of the above. And I'm going to stick to it. None of the above means put that on the ballot. The people that's on the ballot that you really don't like, you don't have to vote for one or the other, because we've done that historically in Louisiana for ages.
Yeah.
Put none of the above on a ballot and show them you don't really like these clowns.
Okay.
That's my 2 bits.
I got you. All right, T-Bone.
All right, y'all.
Thank you, my friend.
All right.
Later.
All right.
All right. We got more coming up. The attorney has joined us. The extraordinary one is here.
Good afternoon.
And more coming up, y'all. Everybody hold tight. We'll take this break.
That's right. It's party time each and every Sunday night at 7 p.m. on WBOK. It's the Throwback Throwdown with DJ Wick as he brings you the best in old school from the 70s, 80s, 90s, and the early 2Ks. Plus, the party goes to another level at 9 p.m. with the Throwback Throwdown Party Mix to round out the night. It's the Throwback Throwdown Sunday nights at 7 p.m. on WBOK and on the World Wide Web at WBOK1230.com.
This is The Law in Your Legacy. I'm attorney Pete Hamilton.
I'm attorney Ryan Hamilton. Losing a loved one is tough enough. Do you really want your family dealing with court battles and paperwork on top of it?
Whether you choose a will or a trust, think ahead. Take care of your family. Let them focus on healing instead of headaches. This is not legal advice. That's just a tip brought to you by Liberty Bank and Trust. For more information, go to libertybank.net or contact us at 504-915-5016.
Wake up and join us on the Good Morning Show every first and third Friday at 8 a.m. to hear our friends at New Orleans & Company, the official destination sales and marketing organization for New Orleans and a driving force behind our city's cultural economy. Learn more at www.neworleans.com.
Extended through Labor Day, Louisiana residents get half off general admission to the National World War II Museum. Take advantage of 50% off and beat the summer heat at New Orleans' #1 attraction. Don't wait. Plan your visit at nationalworldwar2museum.org.
We are the rhythm of the streets.
The flavor in every day.
The story in every song.
We are New Orleans Tourism and Cultural Foundation.
We help artists build the future of New Orleans.
Because when the culture thrives, our people thrive.
Every note, every brushstroke, every dish is a door opening new possibilities for those who carry our traditions forward. And when we open that door, the whole city moves forward. For New Orleans Tourism and Cultural Foundation, culture is our open door.
What if you could pull up a chair at the same table as your doctors? Join me, Kimber White Dupree, as I welcome board-certified physicians, Dr. Princess Dinner and Dr. Darlanda Rayno Harris. For Table Rounds, we're bringing those meaningful medical conversations out of the hospital and into our community. Health topics that matter most, from the health disparities and menopause to mental health and much more. Table Rounds with Dr. Princess Dinner and Dr. Darlanda Rayno Harris. Every fourth Monday at 10 a.m. on the front porch, because better conversations lead to better health.
Making a difference in the community. WBOK 1230 AM.
Here we go.
The reality check on WBOK 1230 AM.
All right, folks, welcome back. Welcome back. It's Monday. She has joined us. The extraordinary one. Yes, she is. Suzette Bagnaris is in the building. Movie star shooting commercials and award-winning. Lou, how are you? Can someone please pass the Grey Poupon?
Gerard had to shoot a video for me
I had to
accepting
shoot her
a Trailblazers award at this Women in Law conference. And I think we did like 4 takes because we just couldn't get it right.
She kept saying, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for this award. Yes, I do accept it with the most humbleness that I can possibly muster right now. Do I deserve this award? You're damn right. You ain't say that. Let me stop.
I did not say that.
You know somebody will repeat it.
I did not say that.
Did you say that?
Can you believe she said that?
You didn't say
Arrogant
that.
ass. You can best believe that's what they're going to say.
Well, tell us about your award.
So there's a Women in Law conference. It's a national conference. It happens to be hosted in New Orleans this year.
Mm-hmm.
And I am one of many award recipients, but I am receiving the Trailblazer Award. Yeah, I'm also serving on a panel talking about how to build a high-end law practice. And I will actually be questioning the attorney who represented Breonna Taylor. So that should be a really good panel discussion. I'm really looking forward to that.
When is it?
It's September 16 through 18, hosted at the Roosevelt Hotel here in New Orleans. And the awards brunch is on the 18th.
And you're like the only person from here.
Yes.
That's on that panel.
That's on the panel, yes. So as a matter of fact, there's another high-profile attorney, nationally recognized, that represents victims of, let's just say, wrongful death.
Mm-hmm.
That's also supposed to be on that panel, and we will see if he makes it to the conference.
Oh wow. I will tell you that, of course, we're proud of you, even though that you're like, yeah, okay, you ready to shoot? Oh, nonchalant.
But I will say this, Gerard. I really do appreciate the award. I always find it interesting that locally we don't honor people for their accomplishments until they're dead.
Give them their flowers.
Right. The same people seem to get recognized over and over again by their friends.
Mm-hmm.
That's the kind of town we live in. But it's really nice when
to get some new blood up there.
Right. It's really nice when you receive a national recognition from a national organization. So I'm really really excited and humbled by that.
Now let me tell everybody what I'm doing.
What are you doing?
I'm doing something that's really important. It is important to me. I know that some people have said in some of the stuff that I posted about it that they not feeling it. If you're not feeling it, that's on you. I can't say nothing about you. It's on you. But I am this year hosting the NAACP Presidential Legacy Breakfast on Katrina Day, August 29th, at the Hilton Riverside on the 3rd floor. This is, and I was talking to all the committee members that, they've been here. They're going to probably come back before it's all over with. But I was talking about the importance of organizations now are needed more now than ever before. When NAACP stood for just as many things when it came to civil rights as we could possibly think of. Our branch seemed to not go away, but to struggle a little bit because they're operating with no money. Too many people have, I think, thrown it away. But it's my job and your job and everybody else's job to build it back up, because I think we need it more now than ever before with all the things that are happening. So our guest speaker is going to be Troy Carter. I'm going to be the MC for the event. It's going to be many of the legacy presidents that are still alive that may be joining us. And you can get tickets. I have tickets. I have tickets here at the radio station. So if you need a ticket, call us and make sure you tell Nyron, because Nyron going to be here till 6, 7 o'clock in the evening. So if you want to buy a ticket, you can buy a ticket. Now, a lot of folks want to know, how much them tickets, man? Come on. They are $100. It's $100 a ticket, and it's needed. It is very much needed. We spend $100 on just about junk and every other thing you can possibly think of. And I know times are tough for some folks, but I can guarantee you this will be something new that will be coming out of the organization to be able to stand up for stuff that's going on, and I'm going to be a part of it. I'm just going to take part in it.
I want to say I think that what you are doing and what the NAACP is doing is more important today than I think it has ever been for one simple reason. The problems may look different, but the need for organized Black political power has never disappeared and never been more important, I think, than it is today.
And you said a key part.
Right.
Organized.
Right. And sometimes people talk about the NAACP as though it belongs in a history book. We remember its role in Brown versus the Board of Education. We remember past voter registration drives. We remember Thurgood Marshall's presence in the movement. We remember people marching, organizing, and all of those things. And because we don't see colored water fountains marked anymore, people are now asking, do we still need the NAACP? Is it still relevant? My answer is yes. But I think that we need to say this. We need more young people to get involved with the NAACP. I do think in the membership of the NAACP, they are aging.
Yes.
And in order for us to really make a strong platform for the Black agenda, we need more life in that organization. We need younger people to get involved. I don't think, we don't need an organization that simply holds banquets, takes pictures, gives awards, and reminds us of what we've accomplished 60 years ago. We need an organization that understands what Black people are confronting in 2026 and are prepared to organize around it. And I think that the NAACP itself identifies today's priorities as voting rights, housing affordability, education, healthcare, economic opportunity, criminal justice, environmental concerns, and public policy. I think everybody should be able to get around that agenda. And so I'm not just asking you to come out and support this breakfast. I'm asking you to donate even if you can't come to the breakfast. They need the money. But I'm also asking you to join. I think it's very important that we don't keep framing the NAACP in terms of historical issues they've handled. These are Monday morning issues. These are today issues. So it's time to reintroduce yourself
and a lot of folks
to the NAACP.
And a lot of folks don't even think about this, but a lot of the things that's going on right now, standing in the middle and making sure that they are part of it, is a branch of the NAACP, which is the NAACP Defense Fund. They have their lawyers right in the middle of things. They may not be getting the credit, but they are right in the middle of those things and getting a lot of those issues that are against us reversed in the court of law. So the NAACP Defense Fund is right there in the middle of it with the ACLU and anybody else that wants to be a part of it. And listen, a year's membership for the NAACP, just $35. Just $35.
This is important. Get engaged.
Yep. All right. As a matter of fact, we got the president, Rhino.
Thank you, Gerard, and thank you, dear sister. Gerard, you say everything is so truthful, and it's a $30 membership. But I could list you all things where we have participated in, from the legal redress with Ms. Shawan, Ms. Valerie, Ms. Sand, the list goes on. Do you know the strangest thing happened to me? I'm not going to call it the court, but we showed up in some eviction hearings during Christmas and Thanksgiving, and they dealt with us real bad. But at the end of the day, we won. It's just some of the things that happen. Folks call me and ask me, "What can you help me? I'll do this and do that." And some things are not civil rights, but the human thing is just beyond. And I'm reflect to this day when I ask you to join us in this fight this year to raise some money. I didn't even finish my statement. I'm going to say it public. I just said, Joe, yeah, I got it. And it was like that. And I want to thank you publicly to every bit of it. I've been dealing with some medical issues, but I'll be back in next month. But I do want to give credit to where credit is due. We got some hard-working, tired-working members. They love what they do it because they enjoy to see the outcome of people. But again, as I didn't finish my statement to you, to ask you, would you help me join this fight? And before I got it, I said, hey, bro, I got you. And it was like that. It was just like that. And I just want to thank you publicly. And look, folks, Gerard is not my cousin. We're not related. We don't have nothing else. I just asked, brother.
No, but you
help
didn't
us
call me
out
something
to move this thing.
other than a cousin a couple of times, Edward. I just wanted to.
Well, come on out to the breakfast. I will be in attendance. I look forward
Thank
to
you.
it. I think it's a great cause.
Yes.
And I look
Yes.
forward to hearing the speaker address the issues that concern us. And I think it's going to be a great time.
And we love to see everybody there. So we look forward to everybody. And thank you again, Gerard. And this is a good program. As usual, is always knowledgeable as we get it. And we keep it going on because we know who listens to WBOK. I'll leave it at that. Thank you, Gerard. Thank you.
Everybody and their grandmama.
And their grandma. Yeah.
And the ones that don't talk about it.
Yeah.
That's right.
All right, Ronald.
Thank you very much.
I'll talk to you later.
All right.
All right. Yeah, Ronald has been a little bit under the weather, but still hanging in there. And we talk about this, everything that's going on every week. Monday nights, we have a Zoom call with all the committee members, myself, Ronald, and everybody else. So, but we have to really start taking control of what's going on in this city. And who do we expect to fight for us if nobody else does? And if we can't fight for ourselves, I think we're going to be in a world of trouble, worse than what we're in now, if we don't fight for ourselves. And one of the fights that I thought about all weekend, this has been bothering me all weekend. I can't believe that nobody except Jeff Thomas saw what he saw with these folks not committing themselves and doing the okay or no to the folks they say are directors for the city. What is that, 11 out of 13?
11 out of 13. Mm-hmm.
And nobody said nothing else?
Look, you can't, they wrote the law, so they know what they're supposed to do. And I have to commend Jeff for staying on top of this and for shining a light on it. I'm sure there is more to come because there are other rules that they are well aware of, that they are enacting ordinances to try to get around. And I think a lot of this is about to come to light, so stay tuned.
Yeah. So, speaking of things coming to light,
which would you like to talk about? Because I heard you talking about the
judges,
the three people who were removed from Orleans Parish races today, including sitting Chief Judge Juana Lombard because of tax filing issues. So, what else would you like to shine a light on today?
So can I be messy just for a minute?
Just for a minute?
Just for a minute.
Oh, I'm sure it's gonna be for how much time we got left? 3 hours, 2 hours?
3 minutes.
Oh, 3 minutes before the break? Okay, go right ahead.
I just want to take one of these minutes because you ain't tell it, but I want to tell it.
You about to tell my business?
No, I'm about to tell our business because it happens at your office. And that is when we're not in the office, the telephone system, you can leave your message, but it's an AI system.
Oh, are you about to talk about this lady with her food stamps?
No, not the lady. This is worse than the lady with the food stamps. Because we sat there and laughed at that one because that was funny. That lady didn't know she was being recorded. But the phone rang, and the people thought they were calling somebody else's phone.
Oh, yeah.
And they left a message to tell you to get people.
Not me.
Well, not you.
Somebody called my office thinking they
it was
were
somebody
calling
else's
another Bagneris's office and was basically saying, get your person out the race. And your person is this and your person is that and get your person out the race. And left this message that I would never leave on somebody's
You don't leave nothing like that on somebody's
voicemail.
on a voicemail. That's political. That's just a political nightmare.
Right. And it was a candidate.
Yep.
A candidate. Let me say it
You need to get your person out of the race because they got some political ties to some stuff that's going on, and you need to make sure they get up out the race.
Concerns and da-da-da-da.
Not only were they recording your voice, but the system transcribes it to an email that is delivered to at least 4 other people outside of the office. Now we not only got a record of you saying it
verbally,
we got a record of you transcribing it. And let me be the first to say, since I was going to be messy today, I see why they removed you from the race.
So what did Suzette do? Immediately called the other Bagneras to say, hey, you got an interesting message here at the law firm. When I read the message, the temperature rose. And then a call was made.
And then another call was made to the offended candidate. What? He said, oh, what?
And then the same candidate had the audacity to send out an email that had me on it, talking negatively about a sitting judge that I have a tremendous amount of experience practicing in front of.
And respect.
And happen to think is one of the most outstanding judges on the bench. Okay? So, I mean, I have had numerous hearings, numerous trials in front of this judge. She's always on time. She's always respectful to everybody in her courtroom. She always reads whatever you file and is well prepared to rule from the bench.
And moves the docket.
Talks to the jury with respect. I mean, just, in my opinion, a shining star in terms of what we should expect from a jurist. And you're going to send an email that was scathing and include me on the thread. Well, you should know what I did. I responded, and said how great of a job this judge does. So thank you for giving me an opportunity to do that free advertisement for your opponent.
So I just want you to know that I forwarded the voicemail. Listen, everybody. That's what the email started off with. Hey, everybody, take a listen to this fool.
We can't make this stuff up.
I'm like, what are you thinking? Listen, everybody. That's what I said.
We cannot
I started
make
the
this
email
stuff
off.
up.
Well, hey, listen to this, everybody. And by the way, it was transcribed too. Let me forward that to you. Did you get it? Including the person that said. I included them in the email too. So they just got it sent back to them.
Yes. And while we're working, sometimes we do take a little.
No, that was not funny.
Little trip on the petty bus every once in a while.
I was driving and licking the windows at the same time. On the little yellow bus. Everybody, the little yellow bus. And I see why you got thrown out the race. More coming up, folks.
Words of Cardi B.
More coming up, y'all. Everybody hold tight.
On Auto Trends with JeffCars.com, here's a snippet of some of what we cover. GPS pioneer Gladys West.
We worked long hours computing trajectory orbits and satellite orbits, trying to get the data and everything correct enough.
Auto analyst Mark Bland.
14 new vehicle deals that happen in this country out of every 100 that women don't have a fingerprint on.
To tune in, check out Auto Trends with JeffCars.com, Saturdays at 4 p.m. on WBOK, what New Orleans is talking about.
New Orleans is built to host, and at the New Orleans Ernest N. Memorial Convention Center, it is where big ideas, major events, and careers come together under one roof. As the 6th largest convention center in the country with a team recognized as a national top workplace, we are proud to power the events that keep our city moving forward. Our staff of more than 450 brings nearly 3,900 years of combined experience, an average of almost 9 years each. If you're looking for a robust benefits package, career stability, and opportunity, visit mccno.com to explore open positions today.
Wake up and join us on the Good Morning Show every first and third Friday at 8 a.m. to hear our friends at New Orleans & Company, the official destination sales and marketing organization for New Orleans and a driving force behind our city's cultural economy. Learn more at www.neworleans.com.
WBOK is pleased to announce the reboot of Crosstown Conversations with host Gene Nathan. A heightened focus on cultural entertainment events and the creators who present them. The new time is now Saturday at noon. Tune into the stories of our exploding creative scene with Gene Nathan on Crosstown Conversations.
Did you hear the news? Dr. Clark's 101 The Living Classroom has a new time. Catch us now every Wednesday at noon. Same program, same great conversations. Just a new time. So catch Dr. Clark's 101 The Living Classroom this Wednesday and every Wednesday only on WBOK. What New Orleans is talking about.
Get in on the conversation at 504-582-9422. Here we go. The reality check on WBOK 1230 AM.
All right, folks, welcome back. Welcome back. It's Petty and Nettie on your radio.
Petty and Betty.
Petty and Betty or Nettie. Either or. Yes, indeed.
Speaking of petty, while we're on the petty bus, I didn't know it was Petty Bus Monday.
It's Petty Bus Monday.
But while we're there, Louisiana's Law Act 676 requires the 10 Commandments to be displayed in every public school classroom. That statute was signed in 2024, and the litigation over it has continued into 2026. But as school has started, they are posting the 10 Commandments in every classroom. But, I just can't help but comment on the hypocrisy of this.
Mm-hmm.
You're posting the 10 Commandments as a statement about morality. Then we ought to be willing to talk about all morality and not just morality that's politically convenient. You can't put out "thou shalt not bear false witness" on the wall and then lie about the state of affairs here in New Orleans. You cannot, celebrate "thou shalt not steal" and ignore generations of stolen labor, stolen opportunity, discriminatory housing practice, unequal schools. You can't just proclaim "honor thy father and thy mother" while supporting systems that are tearing children from their parents at the hands of ICE. You can't just put out these values and then make homelessness a crime.
Because it is.
How you treat the poor with the 10 Commandments, but yet you're making homelessness a crime. You're getting rid of mental health counseling money, but you're talking about, the 10 Commandments. You're saying you don't even want to talk to politicians here in New Orleans, but you're talking about the 10 Commandments.
Not even going to talk to the mayor.
Yeah, right, exactly. I mean, either you believe in the 10 Commandments and what they stand for, or you don't.
They made their own. Instead of "thou shalt not kill," it's "thou shalt not chill." I'm not chilling. I'm not chilling. I'm going to go hard on y'all. Child, you chill.
It's just, to me, it's just a bit much. I mean, I think they need to look at how they're behaving.
Like little children.
Yeah, I think they look at how they're behaving and stop weaponizing morality.
Everybody gets a nook for Christmas. There you go. Here you go. Cedric.
Hello. I cannot understand. Isn't a prerequisite for running for office is to be current with your taxes?
Yep.
Yeah.
It doesn't say you can't run if you owe, but you do have to file. I believe we should have some new commandments in New Orleans. We shall not vote for the same people. We shall not vote or support, rather, the same political organizations. And that's my only comment today. Y'all have a good one. What Forrest Gump said, stupid is, stupid does. Y'all have a good day.
All right, Cedric.
I think the argument, and I got to say it, Wanda Lombard's argument is that she paid her federal taxes, and indeed she overpaid the taxes for that year. She received a $374 federal refund because she had overpaid her federal taxes. According to her testimony, the accountant that prepared her federal taxes also prepared her state returns together, but didn't file her state return. That's what she's saying. So she's saying, I'm not trying to hide my income. This is not somebody who's saying I don't believe in paying taxes, but this is someone who is essentially arguing, I gave my taxes to my accountant, my federal return went through, and I reasonably believed my state return went through too.
Don't you have to sign both of them?
You do. And the trial judge said that wasn't enough. I mean, to me, it sounds kind of akin to, I lost my homework. And you're a judge. So, I think you need to hold people to the same standard that she would hold a lawyer coming before her who didn't have everything that they might have that they needed to provide to the court. If judges are going to enforce deadlines against everybody else, there's a legitimate argument that they should also be expected to know whether their own legal obligations have been satisfied.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think to the caller's point, we know when we sign our name on the bottom line to become a candidate that you're certifying in a sworn document that all of your taxes are filed. And so I think you need to, before you put your name on that document, make sure that all of your taxes are filed.
I just think that this is something that you can't say you don't know. Because you know that before you can certify anything, whoever's the tax preparer, as well as the person you're preparing the taxes for, has to sign the document. The preparer has to sign as well as you. And if you have not, then doesn't that mean that, nope, your taxes ain't done?
This is something that needs to be verified before somebody puts their name on a ballot.
Yep.
When a candidate walks in to qualify, it seems to me that they should have made sure that their 2021 through 2025 taxes were indeed filed, or whatever years legally apply for that candidate. If there's a problem, the candidate should not qualify. It's as simple as that. And you can't bend the rules for some and not bend the rules for others.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. Let's go, Mr. Elmore. What you say?
Hey, man, how you doing?
Good.
Well, I kind of agree. You have an obligation as a citizen to pay your taxes. Now, sometimes mistakes, I wouldn't say mistakes, things can happen, but as a citizen, whenever it happened to me, I can tell you, it wasn't like I was trying to lie. I wasn't lying and one bit to the government. It was something that they didn't get, and I had to give it to them. But it wasn't like I was trying to scheme and scam for not to pay taxes. Sometimes I think it might be based on the situation. I don't know, but I listened to Ms. McNair. She made a good point. You have an obligation to pay your taxes, and there's no excuse for it. The standards shouldn't change overwhelmingly for one person because you're a politician, attorney, doctor, what have you. But I think it should be based on the situation that happened to you. That's what I feel.
Well, I tell you what, I am on my accountant to make sure my stuff is filed and to send me confirmation that it is filed, because I don't want Uncle Sam coming and knock on my door.
But in the political nature that we're in right now, knowing that somebody's going after all the time, somebody's going after these judges' job, wouldn't you want to do the best you can to make sure that you are all the way clean?
Compliant.
Yeah.
Exactly. Candidates should know what they're signing. Candidates should comply with the law. And public officials should absolutely be held to high standards. Ballot disqualification ought to make us all uncomfortable, though. But it should be reserved for circumstances where the law clearly requires it. And here the law clearly requires that your taxes be filed and that you certify your taxes are filed before you become a candidate.
All right, y'all, we got to take a break here. We'll come back. We'll have some more conversation. We want to hear your comments, too, at 504-582-9422. Get your calls in. Let's talk about this tax certification. That's That's what you got to be, certified. You got to make sure that you have dotted the I's and crossed the T's. Coming up, news is next right here at WBOK.
Campus of Xavier University.
Yeah.
WBOK Go and Equity Media Station.
I'm Bree Wood with BIN News Now. Appearing on NBC's Meet the Press on Sunday, Attorney General Todd Blanche said he's not convinced the FBI taking over the investigation into Nancy Guthrie's disappearance is the best approach.
Whether we come in with sharp elbows and take it over, that's not necessarily the right thing to do for her or for anybody.
The mother of Today co-anchor Savannah Guthrie has been missing since February, and the FBI is offering a $100,000 reward for information in the case. Cambridge University scholar Jason Arday, believed to be the institution's youngest black professor. Arday recently resigned amid plagiarism allegations, and his family says he faced years of intense public scrutiny while serving in his historic academic role. And New York Knicks star Karl Anthony Towns is now married to model Jordan Woods. The couple, who have been together since 2020, tied the knot in Malibu over the weekend. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Here we go. The reality check on WBOK 1230 AM.
And we're back. It's WBOK 1230 AM. The talk line is 504-582-9422. And we're also on 107.1 FM, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. Come follow us on all platforms. We would really appreciate it. So today, I think we're talking about personal responsibility. And I think this is a lesson to all would-be candidates. Candidates cannot hide behind somebody else did it and I didn't know. Candidates cannot hide behind their accountants forever. If you're running for judge, mayor, sheriff, council, the legislature, whatever the office is, qualifying is coming up. You're going to be signing under oath. So maybe part of the lesson here is before you qualify, pull your own tax transcripts. Don't rely on your accountant just saying it was done. Get the confirmation, get the receipt, get the Louisiana Department of Revenue to give you a transcript. Get the IRS transcript. It doesn't cost much to get those transcripts because once you sign that qualification form, the responsibility ultimately belongs to you. That is especially true for lawyers and judges. These are people who spend their careers telling litigants, read what you sign, know your deadlines, keep your records. You are responsible for your case. Well, the same standard applies when you're running for office. So I'm not suggesting candidates should get a free pass. What I am saying is that the remedy should fit the conduct. So, I understand this may be a good faith mistake, and this is not intentional dishonesty on the part of Judge Lombard or on the part of Mark Laws, who also got disqualified for a tax issue. But, you have a responsibility, and I think this is a good learning lesson since we are having more elections coming up to get the IRS transcript, get the Department of Revenue transcript. Make sure you're compliant before you sign those qualifying documents. Let's go to Galloway on line 1. Galloway.
How you doing, Counsel?
I am doing well. So what say you on the issue of the three who were disqualified?
Don't vote for none of them. How about that? That's my bottom line.
You can't vote for none of them because they've been booted out.
And that's the best thing. I'm sick and tired of seeing the same people doing the same stuff. And I think your callers have described it best. Nothing from nothing leaves nothing. But I wanted to talk about when you said the 10 Commandments.
Right.
Which version of the 10 Commandments are they using in Louisiana public schools?
I don't know the answer to that. That is a very good question. I guess we need to figure that out too, because that matters as well. And is that pushing religion on kids who may not have that religion? Is it making them uncomfortable in the classroom? I would think it is. I don't think Louisiana is using the modern Bible translation like an NIV or an NRSV or the New American Bible, because the statute prescribes its own exact wording. The legislature says the wording is identical to the Ten Commandments monument at the Texas state capitol that the U.S. Supreme Court upheld in Van Orden versus Perry. So the language is the old King James style Protestant wording. For example, I am the Lord thy God. Thou shalt, the words thy neighbor, manservant, maidservant, those are the words that are posted. So the Ten Commandments, are not numbered and worded identically across religious traditions. So Catholics, Protestants, Jews divide and number the commandments very differently. So the Louisiana version, just separates them by clauses. But, I think that in this particular instance, a Muslim, a Hindu, an atheist, an agnostic, or any other parent, might want to ask a more fundamental question. Why is the state of Louisiana deciding which religious formulation gets permanent space on my child's classroom wall?
And not only that, how is it we know Louisiana and Orleans Parish is majority Catholic, and you're going to use the Protestant version of the Ten Commandments in a Catholic parish in Louisiana? Because Texas, they still fighting that stuff up here. And what's coming next, since to get the Ten Commandments in the classroom, then Bible verses, Bible study comes into your classrooms. And in the state of Texas, starting in 2030, K through 12 will actually have mandatory in their curriculum, must pass Bible study and quiz and test. So get ready for it. They don't stop.
Oh no! Once government enters religion, it doesn't only have to question Christian versus non-Christian lines. It's going to invade other aspects of people's private life. So it's a fine line. They have crossed it. They've blurred the lines now. I'm not too sure how I would feel as the parent of a Muslim child or the parent of a Hindu child in this particular circumstance. And is it going to stop with just the text on the classroom wall? Or are they now going to start with, morning mandatory prayer of a certain religion? Where do we go from here is the next question.
Yeah, I'm telling you where you're going. I'm telling you, you are going to have teachers teaching your kids about Adam and Eve, Daniel and the lion's den. That's what you can't. I went to the meeting over the summer. I told them people I am just about as qualified to teach out of that Bible as people are qualified to make me a 40-ounce bottle of beer.
Yeah, but we're forcing other people's religion. We're forcing Christian religion
on non-Christian
folks.
And when the state is last in the country in education, instead of our legislature focusing on mathematics, reading, science, core curriculum, and ways to give our children the most educational opportunity, our legislature is debating theology in a classroom.
And which none of them practice.
Exactly.
Look at how corrupt and crooked they are. And Brother Gerard, man, before I go, you said something earlier that really touched home, and I hope people paying attention about these mass shootings and the involvement of young black boys and girls. Mm-hmm. What happened over the weekend at the HBCU in Virginia? That was just embarrassing, downright embarrassing. But I keep telling people, if you look at the trend during football season, mainly at historical black colleges and universities, at the homecomings, you start to see more and more mass violence, and mass shootings also.
Yep.
Every year, it's just one that will puzzle you and make you just wonder. Now Tuskegee, they had been in the news for the dress code, but Tuskegee has shut down their homecoming. You cannot go on campus for homecoming unless you are personally signed in and invited by someone. It's no longer, and I think other HBCUs should do it too.
Just can't go just to be going.
No, you just no, because it's the young man that when they had the mass shooting at Tuskegee, the young man had I don't even think he had finished high school.
Right.
But he went up there looking for somebody. They fought and shot each other on a historic black college. And I'm like, do you even know what Tuskegee even means?
Right.
And, of course, they don't even know. They don't care to go through that. I've been involved in 3 in the last 6 years. Not like me having anything to do with it. I've been on folks' campus when it was a mass shooting. And I still say that one at Alcorn, that's still mind-boggling to me. Y'all live all the way in Port Gibson. Y'all come to an HBCU to fight and shoot at each other during a time where we are trying to get more kids to go to historical black colleges.
Right.
But y'all up there shooting, so it's getting worse. And I'm afraid to say this, but it's going to start going to the high schools doing football games. So
I thought it already did. Hell, we've already had a couple of here. I remember last year, year before last, they got the shooting on North Shore at a football game. Killed one of the kids, and it was at the football game. I think they just convicted him and put him in jail for doing all the shooting. I think he was 17 years old.
Yeah. The age of the shooters now are anywhere from 14 to 17.
But I got to ask you this though, Galloway, did you go to the NABJ?
Yes, I was there. To see Stephen A. Smith get the thumbs down award.
That's what I wanted to ask you there, because I was really impressed with the black journalists that were talking about what's hurting black folks and talked about media that is hurting black folks. And it not only talked about the number of folks, which Stephen A. Smith was one, it also talked about the networks when it said that CBS was one of the top networks that's hurting black folks because they started getting rid of their black hires.
All of the major corporate networks, in my opinion, every single one of them, you name one, CNN, MSNBC, Fox, all of them do not want black journalists working unless something happens in an area where they don't want to go, and then they'll send you in there.
But Don Lemon is all over social media talking about it. And my question, though, what was the outcome? What did they come up with to combat it? I know they pictured, they notified everybody and said, hey, these are ones that are hurting black people, but what are they doing to solidify it, to make sure that, this is what we're going to do to counter?
The counter is the black press. What I'm listening to right now, who I'm calling into. They highly encourage people to go out, the New Orleans Tribune, people like Mr. Jeff. This is what they were explaining to us. You got to start getting contact. You got to talk to your local black newspaper, your local black radio station. That is the counter. Now, the counter is for y'all. Like your station is on pretty much all day with news and information. There's a lot of black radio stations. They might have a talk show for 2 hours, 3 hours in the morning, and then the rest it's music. So you got to get more people in the studios and put the news up in there, because you have conservative talk and you have the corporate media that's on 24/7.
So one of the things, though, Galloway, that I'll tell you is you're absolutely correct about, what's news and what's not. These talk shows that I would say started in the early 80s that became syndicated, number one, put a lot of black media out of business, put a lot of black radio hosts out of business because it got rid of the morning man. See, that's the number one day part of a radio station where you can make some money because more people listen to radio in the morning than any other day part of the day. So my question was, why did they get rid of so many of those morning men? It started with, somebody that I work with, Tom Joyner, started with him. And then you had the essence of all these big conglomerates that started taking over radio stations and going syndicated first thing in the morning so they would not have to pay these morning men. That's why you hear several different morning men all across the country. You would hear Tom Joyner. You would hear Steve Harvey. You could leave here and go and hear Steve Harvey in Atlanta, in North Carolina. You could hear him because it's syndicated. So these were the things that they call cutting costs. But I thought to myself, is we don't have enough black radio stations across the country to say that you need to be cutting costs, because we're actually bringing in more money than some of the white radio stations. That's number one.
And more information also.
Yes.
I think it's
but it cut
like
out the information, because guess what? You could this is gonna sound so bad, but you're gonna think about it for a minute, and everybody gonna go, damn, he is right. Every national syndicated black morning show today is a comedian.
It is. And I think that has an impact on how our people receive information and how they process information.
Yep.
Sometimes you need information and not to be entertained. Everything is not supposed to be entertaining. Sometimes you just need the information. But I think this is a big issue you're raising, and I like it, and I think it's very applicable to what's going on here in the city of New Orleans. And I want to point out the hypocrisy. Our leadership here in New Orleans, the mayor and the city council, are angry because the governor has said, I'm not even going to come to talk to you. Yet, here we are, the only black media station in the entire city of New Orleans, and the mayor and that same city council is saying, I'm not going to come to talk to you. It's the same thing. You're angry because the governor's not talking to you. Well, guess what? We're not too happy that you're not coming to talk to us. That raises the question. I mean, what is a mayor and a city council's responsibility to the black community? And how do you get a pass for publicly stating you're going to ignore the black press?
I'm going to tell you this. I'm saying this. Ed Bradley and Bernard Shaw couldn't get a journalism job right now at any of those corporations if they was alive. They wouldn't want them. As soon as you start talking truth to power, and I stood up and told them that. And I said, MSNBC, I'm glad y'all are here. Because Tiffany Cross and Joy Reid, two extremely bright black women, y'all kicked them to the curb for what? CBS, you kicked just about everybody black off. Because you have all those, I call them the six-figure journalists that work for those corporate media stations. Mm-hmm. They were there. Everybody wants to go to NABJ. That's the who's of who of black journalism. Your Roland Martins. Anybody that you can think of that you see in the headlines, they are there. And I chastise them also. I chastise everybody. My thing is, it's all local. I said, when have y'all really sat down and actually talked to the local black press, the black media? And I said the same thing about the government. I said, when your mayor, your city council does not come on the local black radio station or talk to the local black press once a month, I don't care who they are. Those are not leaders. They only want your vote. And that's all your city council and New Orleans Parish cares about. Helene is not going to do anything or say anything to black people till it's time to vote. She's going to get JD and Reggie and that other little boy that plays on social media all day. And it's going to be the same old stuff. Hey, listen, I did X. You ain't did nothing. So to put it in a nutshell, the NABJ is great, but they got a lot of work to do also. But they will let somebody like me. I don't have no degree in journalism.
But it was different this year. It was a little bit different this year, and the reason why I can say that that I didn't even go, but it was different this year because they were showing the banquet. And they were calling folks out on the banquet. They called them out. Galloway, they were saying, Stephen A. Smith, thumbs down, da-da-da-da. You're hurting black people. I was like, wow.
Well, sometimes these people need to be called out. And I think that's important. I think black accountability needs to be, held. We need accountability. And I think that's important for us to hold politicians accountable. It's important to hold celebrities accountable, journalists accountable. I mean, you need to do, if you're not doing the work for the community and you're hurting the community, we're going to call you out for it. And that's what we do here on this radio station. And whether you like it or not, that's what we're going to do. But the black press is important today because black communities still need institutions that tell their stories from their perspective and ask questions that matter to them and refuse to let other people define our reality for us. We're not going to do that. You're not going to tell us how we need to live and how we need to be in the city of New Orleans, and you're not even listening to us. You're not in dialogue with us. You're not in communication with us. And so this is not a new mission. It goes all the way back to the Freedom's Journal in 1827, whose founders wrote that they wanted to plead our own cause because others had spoken for black people for far too long and had misrepresented the issues affecting them. We're not going to let you do that. So we're going to define what's important to us, and we're going to continue to tell the stories from our perspective and discuss the issues from our perspective. And either you want to be a part of that dialogue or you can be the subject of that conversation.
Yeah, take that ass whipping every day. There you go.
That's where I'm at.
27.
Go ahead, Galway. I'm sorry.
Think about my bad. I don't mean to talk over y'all, but I got to get this in. You said 1827. That's 200 years now that the black press has been around. And I, the Pittsburgh Defender, the Chicago Defender and the Pittsburgh Courier, when they was blowing up and burning our press machines in the South, they was bringing news from the North on the sleeping court porters to the South to let us know about the lynchings. The black press is the one who broke the civil rights. Made civil rights come to the forefront with the death of Emmett Till. They're doing the same thing with Nolan Wells now, with his death.
They're trying to tell the story from their perspective, and they're trying to flood the airways with the story from their perspective and try to drown out our voices in telling the story from our perspective.
And it's just I'm going to say this. If that mayor don't come, and I'm not talking about, and no disrespect to the morning show, no, not at all. But if she does not come to the reality check, where you get a question that's going to make you, tighten up a little bit down there and answer it truthfully. That's why I have no faith and trust and ability in that woman at all. Because it's all smoke and mirror, fun and games. I can smile and WDSU can report a story. And even with the black journalists there at WDSU, WGNO, and NOLA.com, what are y'all really doing? Y'all say y'all there for the community, but when have y'all really been down into the community to talk to anybody?
All right.
That's all I'm gonna say, brother.
This weekend, Gallery, and I'm really about to tell how much of a nerd I am. This weekend, I spent my time reading a work published on April 18th, 1903, "The Souls of Black Folk" by W.E.B. Du Bois. Okay, and one of the things that stood out to me in the foreword of this book is W.B. Du Bois in 1903 says, "The problem of the 20th century is the problem of the color line." Now, he could have wrote that today.
I'm about to say, has anything, I can't say it's anything. Has too much changed?
Nope.
I was as I read this book and I kept reminding myself that these are things he observed in 1903, I sat there in disbelief that I'm having the same black experience in America in 2026 that W.E.B. Du Bois had in 1903.
As Tupac said it best, I see no changes. I'm saying, because you got to look at it. One of the things reason why I like going to different conferences like this, whether it's the Black Press or the NABJ, not only do you get a history lesson, but you get an understanding and you get a deep appreciation of real journalists. You get folks that sit there and tell you good, bad, different, ugly, whatever you want to call it. It just put it out there, put the truth out there, and let us as listeners and readers decide. We don't get that now in corporate media. That's why I'm so adamant about calling black radio stations every day. I learned so much from the black press, whereas corporate media, all they want to do is smile in your face. We talked about the mass shooting with the HBCU. It was a mass shooting before that one in I think it was in Ohio or Michigan. White guy killed 4 or 5 people. You don't hear about that, but we hear about our mass shootings all over the news.
Right.
And that's everywhere. But when I guess what I'm saying is it's okay for us to be constructive criticism towards ourselves. And I really, and when you talk about that banquet, trust me, there was some journalists up in there that was looking around and praying that their name wasn't being called.
I know that's right. Some of them were very nervous, I'm sure.
At the MSNBC table, I was pointing at them the whole night.
Yep.
I don't know how y'all can sit there and come there and act like y'all are part of the black community. And when Joy Reid was fired, not one of y'all got on TV and said nothing.
Nothing. Not one word. Not one word.
I need the music. Thanks, brother.
All right, Callaway.
All
right.
Black people are being erased from national media.
Being erased?
Yeah. They are erased. They're gone.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. I think the only one left right now that's really sitting, of course, we've got Sally Ann's sister. We got Gayle King. Who else we got?
Because those are acceptable Negroes.
More coming up, y'all. Everybody hold up.
New Orleans is built to host, and at the New Orleans Ernest N. Memorial Convention Center, it is where big ideas, major events, and careers come together under one roof. As the 6th largest convention center in the country with a team recognized as a national top workplace, we are proud to power the events that keep our city moving forward. Our staff of more than 450 brings nearly 3,900 years of combined experience, an average of almost 9 years each. If you're looking for a robust benefits package, career stability, and opportunity, visit mccno.com to explore open positions today.
This is The Law in Your Legacy. I'm attorney Pete Hamilton.
I'm attorney Ryan Hamilton.
If you had $1 million, would you leave it to an 18-year-old?
Hopefully not, but that's exactly what can happen with a simple will. The money goes straight to your kids when they hit the legal age, no guardrails.
A trust lets you control when and how they receive their inheritance. You can set ages, milestones, or even make sure they finish school first.
Give them security, not a spending spree.
This is not legal advice. That's just a tip brought to you by Liberty Bank and Trust. For more information, go to libertybank.net or contact us at 504-915-5016.
Transform your bathroom with the beautiful quality of Bath Planet. As a trusted leader in bathroom renovation, Bath Planet has earned the Good Housekeeping seal, a symbol of quality and consumer confidence for over 100 years. Get half off installation or 18 months with no interest and no payments. Whether it's tub replacement, a shower replacement, or a tub-to-shower conversion, Bath Planet makes your custom bath fast, easy, and affordable. Here's how it works. 1. Call to schedule your free, no-obligation consultation. 2. Our design experts come to you with real samples to customize your dream bath. 3. Our certified installers complete the transformation in as little as 1 day. And right now, for a limited time, you can upgrade your bathroom for 50% off installation or choose 18 months with no interest and no payments. But you need to call now. This special offer is only available by calling 800-981-8177. That's 800-981-8177. Call 800-981-8177 right now before the offer ends.
This invitation goes out to all of us unworthy sinners who's been saved by the grace of God, where you and I are only made worthy by the blood of the Lamb and our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. We're FIJTC, Faithers in Jesus the Christ. My name is Mr. Rocky. You can tune in to WBOK, 12:30 a.m. Sunday mornings from 8:30 a.m. to 9 a.m. Hope to see you there.
Making a difference in the community. WBOK 1230 AM. Here we go. The reality check on WBOK 1230 AM.
All right, folks, welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. It's Monday. The extraordinary one is here.
Thesaurus is out again.
Yes, it is.
You know, I just want to say, maybe people don't understand what the black press is supposed to be for.
You can let me finish introducing you?
Oh, go ahead.
No, you didn't mess it up now.
I'm sorry. I apologize. I digress. You had more thesaurus words.
No. I was with that. I just broke that one up into 2 words: extra and ordinary. And I didn't even get a chance to call the name. The follow behind that.
Go right ahead.
Suzette McNair. Now go ahead.
Thank you. I just want to say, maybe people, including our mayor and city council, don't really understand what the black press is supposed to do. The black press was never created just to report the news.
The black press was created because the news wasn't being reported.
Yes, it was created because
the absolute opposite.
Yeah, black people understood that controlling the narrative was part of their struggle for freedom.
So here's something that's important for everybody that listens to us to understand. These conversations about the black press don't just happen on this radio. My general manager sits me down every day and says, man, what we gonna do? He's not asking what we gonna do because he wants something new. He's asking what we gonna do with this black radio station.
To make a real impact in the community. Right.
So with that, I said, we're going to bring back some new shows that ain't new. And one of which is I got to find about 4 or 5 black women that are not only just firecrackers, but ain't scared to talk politics, but you got to know what you're talking about. I already got, Deirdre Lewis, who is going to be a part of it. I got Ramona Bodie, who's going to be a part of it, but I need to find about 3 or 4 women that I think that can sit at a table and have a conversation and do a show. That's the Women in Politics show. Some of them fell off because they just got life stuff going on. But I'm looking for 3 or 4 different women that ain't just going to sit there and think they're going to open up the microphone and then you just sit there and look at us. That's not going to happen. I need you to know the politics and be able to talk about it. And I'm looking for you now. Because we're gonna redo that show and put that show back on this. And I'm probably gonna do one with men too. Oh hell no. Oh hell no, Brandon. No, sir.
I'm sorry.
No.
You really got me really giggling.
Mm-hmm.
I think that we need people who are going to be well-read, who are willing to do some research, who are willing to be politically engaged in the community, and who are willing to say things that need to be said without regard to whether or not people like it who are in politics.
Yeah.
Speaking truth to power. I think it's very important. And I think that this radio station continue to tell stories, including stories about politics from our perspective with the issues that are important to us.
Yeah. Let's get your family members. Here's your younger brother, Chuck.
Good evening to you all on this heated day, over 100 degrees up here in Northeast Louisiana and Monroe, Louisiana. But I'll just call in. It's quite interesting when you all are just talking about you talking about people don't want to come and talk to you, and that's something that person you all are talking about. And she worked in media at WDSU. Former reporter. You don't want to try to avoid you all now. That's what I was telling when Jeff Thomas was on that last week. I was telling him and you all about one of them that's now coaching Pro Football Hall of Famer. People upset. I'm gonna tell you that the black media outlets were very put out with him. He went on Rich Eisen, but he like some of those that discuss HBCU issues and things around HBCU sports. He doesn't want to go on those shows, and I think they're feeling a certain way about him. I give him about I think it's going to be 2 seasons. I give him there at Southern University, Baton Rouge. You know who I'm talking about, out of the 9th Ward, Desire Projects, Marshall Falk, and people they're real upset with him right now. But I say he better produce down there. But also I was just talking about, you were just talking about what happened with Stephen A. Smith. He's not the only one there at ESPN. You have Malika Andrews and Sage Steele. They have them as well.
No, I don't think anybody's saying that they were the only ones. I'm just trying to tell you where they were with it. That's because they put him up on the screen.
He needs to be put on the screen.
I heard about that.
He has made so many disparaging comments.
Especially toward women.
Yeah, towards women. I really think his problem is with black women. to be
it
quite
is.
honest.
And he's had conversations where his mother has told him about some of his disparaging comments toward women.
Even at Jasmine Crockett, that was one of them that he got into it with, and he reminds me he's a black version of he's passed on, but he used to have him on radio station up here, Rush Limbaugh. He stayed on this conservative radio station up here, KMOB, until he passed away, and he was terrible. And that's why I say he's just a black. He and Jason Whitlock, they're black versions of Rush Limbaugh and Sean Hannity and all those type people. And you see it in like in politics, sports, whatever, wherever it is, in religion, you see all those type characters there. And I saw that. I saw the video. He had him up on the screen. He got in his feelings about it. He went on social media talking about it. I said, well, man, you had an insult to injury.
But what he really should do is maybe he needs to sit down and think about why people are saying these things about him. Sometimes when people say something about you that's very harsh, you need to look inward and see what is it about you that's making people say these things about you. Okay? If he really were trying to be honest about his situation, Stephen A. Smith needs to look inward. He needed that reality check, and he should consider it one that was well overdue.
Oh, yes. You're exactly right. And that's what happened. What happened, the reason why I brought up Sage Steele and Malika Andrews, because I know they go hard on those black athletes, the black male athletes, and they've made some disparaging remarks like Malika Andrews. She kind of she dismissed things when things are coming up about those about the athletes. They like when they're in the NBA draft, they were recognizing the fathers and all, and she kind of dismissed them to talk about the mothers, and people took offense to that, and they said, wait a minute here. These athletes have their fathers there, and there are a lot of them. Always talking about the single mothers and all, but they had their fathers there at the event, and Malika Andrews got a lot of flack for that kind of stuff. Like I said, Sage Steele is known for doing that too. Like she kind of goes in how they act towards the black male athletes and others, just black males, period. But when some of the white guys, and they're not going to do that with them, but they're going to do that with some of those guys. I happen to know them when I see them on television.
Well, yeah, but if we were to tell the truth about it, and since it's the reality check, I'm gonna say it. I think that Stephen A. Smith has had trouble with black women in his personal life, and that it has colored how he reports on black women.
Oh, yeah. And like I said, that was a start right there with Jasmine Crockett. That's what people, he got a lot, boy. He received a lot of flack for that. And, he's something. And he kind of, the way he comes across like, oh, you listen to me. I know what I'm talking about. That's the kind of attitude he has.
Yeah,
I used to like it.
Look,
I
got support for this. I got receipts. In 2014, Smith was suspended by ESPN after comments in the Ray Rice domestic violence discussion that were widely criticized for suggesting women should avoid provoking violent behavior. He later had to apologize when the network called him on it. Then more recently, he drew criticism after making on-air sexualized remarks toward ESPN colleague, I know I'm going to say her wrong, Shiny Okwebi, in April of 2026.
Played at Stanford.
Right.
At Stanford. She's a twin. Yeah.
Exactly. So at what point does this series of individual issues that he has with black women filter into how he criticizes successful black women like Kamala Harris and Jasmine Crockett?
Oh yeah, he's known for doing that, and that's something you look at it, and you can't go by the fact, people think because someone went to an HBCU that they're not. I said he went to Winston-Salem State University in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, and Gerod's home state, but it sure didn't rub off on him. Someone that went to Duke or North Carolina, he can't go by where people went to school. That just shows you what kind of mentality he has.
Yeah. All right, Chuck. Thank you, my brother.
All right. It's always great conversing with you all. You all take care. Stay cool.
All right, Mr. Harrow.
I said, let me call this black radio station because I'm kind of black.
Well, we're happy you called this black radio station because you're kind of black, Mr. Harrell.
Say that again.
Thank you for
Say that
calling.
again? Oh, well, let me tell you, I'm sitting in a vacant house in Spring, and my agents, they use drains, and the drain, what do you call that thing? What do you call it? Drones. And the drones just flew over and took a picture of the neighborhood and whatnot. But anyway, you all covered so much, and I was just sitting here. I said, they're not going to have time to listen to me. So my son thought that was kind of on purpose. But anyway, I just wanted to say a few. Now, what is it, Galloway that called you?
Yes, he called in today.
Yeah. So I kind of take issue with what is being said about black people. And like I said, I'm kind of black, and I've been black for a while. And the thing I see with black people is they don't know who they are, and they isolate themselves from the mainstream. And I think I told you once before, right in Los Angeles, a house came up for sale, and they were asking $90 million for it. And some black people made an offer on it. Okay? So I see black people, how can I say it? And I'm limited in my conversation. My wife is corrects me. She's a major, whatever you call it. But anyway, I see black people doing whatever is to be done. And we're not, I'll say not isolated into any different thing, if I can say that. And whatever you think about, whatever thing you want to go into, black people are there. It's different than it used to be. And I've been around for a while, and I don't see it. And Susan, you mentioned Stephen, whatever the fellow's name is,
Stephen A.
about
Smith.
black women. Say that again?
Stephen A. Smith.
Right. Now, I'm surrounded by educated, good-looking black women. That's where I am. That's where life is. And I heard somebody call the station and say they wasn't giving us credit. I'm not talking about financial credit, but what we can do and all of that kind of thing, and they don't want to recognize it. So why do you care what the credit that they want to give? Why do you care about what they think or anything? But if you actually knew what they feel inferior to you, not superior. And the black feels that the so-called white feels superior, but they don't. They feel if they could change themselves to black, they'd do it in a heartbeat.
So here's my thing. Here's my thing, Mr. Harrell, with what you said. Here's my response to what you said. We are present, but presence is not equality. Nationally, black Americans are about 13 to 14% of the U.S. population. Yet black representation in several high-status professions remains below 13 to 14%. So, for example, you say you have a lot of black physicians in your family. Okay, that's great for your family. But black or African-American doctors are about 5.3% of the U.S. Population of physicians. That means we're still about 6% lower than what we should be. Okay? Lawyers are about 5% of the legal profession. That means we're still 7 to 8% below what we should be. Black workers were about 8% of the STEM workforce, which means they're still 6% to 5% what they should be. So if you're looking at it, is it enough that we have black doctors? Is it enough that we have black lawyers, black engineers, or black scientists? But when the numbers are not where they should be in accordance with the black population. So to me, I think
Can
it's
I
still
ask you a
saying that
question?
we're lagging
Why?
behind.
Why? Hello?
Yes, we're still lagging behind. I mean, and if you look at Congress, you'll see the same thing. We are not represented in Congress to the same level of our population. The fact that we've only had one African American president in the 200 plus years of the nation's life shows that we are still underrepresented and not completely in these spaces where we should be. So it's great that my family has a few lawyers in it and my family has a few doctors in it, but everybody's family experience is not the same.
And they're going to have a problem because there is no catching up.
There's no catching up
Because the
now
retention
is
and the retention is never going to get any better.
Let me ask you, who is responsible for the catching up?
Who's responsible for it?
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Why is somebody got to be
correct?
responsible for it? That's just how it is. Nobody's responsible for it. That's just how it is. The statistics will not allow you to catch up because you just don't have the population that's going to do it.
Well, I'm going to say this.
Whose fault is that?
Well, I'm going to say this.
Why does
Mr.
it have
Harold.
to be somebody's fault, Mr. Harold? That's what I'm asking.
Other ethnic groups in this country were not enslaved in this country. And other ethnic groups did not begin at the deficit that we're beginning. And other ethnic groups, when they came to this country, were given tax breaks and incentives that we were not. So I can't blame black people for having a slower rise than other populations of ethnic groups because they have not had the obstacles that we have traditionally had. And now look at what's happening. They're making it harder for us to have black professionals because of things like cutting financial aid and no longer having DEI incentives. It seems to be getting harder and not easier. I'm watching my kids who are very successful in and of their right still struggling because the cost of living is so doggone high and that their wages can't catch up with it. I mean, it's great that we're able to we've broken the glass ceiling. But I don't think it's enough that one person in a family breaks a glass ceiling.
Hey.
Well, how can I say it? And when I say something, it sounds like I'm bragging, and I am bragging. We have two brothers, both of them in medical school, one in California and one in Tennessee. They will be fifth generation physicians.
That's great. That's great. But you're looking at a first generation lawyer.
Yeah, I'm associated in a sense with the Jewish community. And they think different and they do different.
Okay.
Black people, say that again?
No, I just said okay, because we got to take a break, but go ahead.
But black people is coming together and respecting each other. That's the key thing.
All right.
Hello?
All right. We got to take our break, though, Mr. Harrell. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Okay.
All right.
I'll holler at you another day.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate you much.
Okay.
All right. More coming up, y'all. Everybody hold tight.
AURN News.
I'm Ebony McMorris. The U.S. Supreme Court has dealt another blow to Donald Trump's legal challenge against author E. Jean Carroll. The justices rejected the former president's last-ditch request to reconsider his case, effectively closing the door on this multi-million-dollar battle. The High Court's decision leaves a 2023 jury verdict completely intact. They found Trump liable for sexually abusing and defaming Carroll in a department store dressing room back in the 1990s. The ruling solidifies the $5 million judgment which Trump has already paid into a court account along with accumulated interest. Trump is still waiting on the Supreme Court for a much larger battle. Justices have yet to rule on his separate appeal involving a massive $83 million defamation judgment won by Carroll in a follow-up trial. For now, the $5 million verdict officially stands. For AURN News, I'm Ebony McMorris.
Hey, this is D. Riley from the 90s Hits R&B Jams. Make sure you listen to WBOK 1230 AM every Saturday night from 7 until 9 p.m. I'll be giving you the best R&B jams from the 90s. That's right, all your favorites and more. With me, D. Riley, your host of the 90s Hits, right here on WBOK 1230 AM, or listen online at WBOK1230.com. WBOK, the station you listen to longer.
Hey New Orleans, it's Doc Griggs. Tune in every Thursday from 12 to 1 p.m. for Doc Talk and get checked, get fit, get moving.
Step back into time and experience the moments that shaped our world at the National World War II Museum. This world-renowned museum brings history to life, telling the stories of the American experience in the war that changed the world, why it was fought, how it was won, and what it means today. From immersive exhibits to powerful personal stories, this is more than a museum. Go to nationalww2museum.org and plan your visit today.
This is Andronika Morris, host of Put Housing First. Join us every Tuesday at 12 o'clock, where we will discuss how housing affects every aspect of our lives and what's necessary, what's needed to guarantee housing for all. Join us every Tuesday at 12 o'clock as we dig down deep onto the issues that affect all of us.
WBOK. Listen now on WBOK1230.com.
Here we go. The reality check on WBOK 1230 AM.
All right, folks. Welcome back. Welcome back. Hey, Ron, you've been holding. What's going on with you? Hello?
Oh, y'all can hear me?
There you go.
You can hear me? Oh, all right. What's down, G-Man?
You the man.
And, of course, trying to be. And, of course, meet me extraordinaire.
Oh, I thought you were going to come up with a new one.
I'm sticking with that, though.
Okay. All right.
But, you know, shouts out to the Fatherhood Roundtable as well as the Hillsborough New Gun Club. Stephen A. Smith, that is the modern-day Herman Cain. Since Mimi was going back down memory lane, let's not forget, you know, how he, crucified Kyrie Irving, but then gave Aaron Rodgers a pass when they asked they asked him was he vaccinated, and Aaron Rodgers came back and said, no, I'm immunized. And he came back and made all type of excuses for Aaron Rodgers, but crucified everybody that was black in the league. As it relates to the black journalists that we have, you know, most of them is butt kissers anyway, because like Mr. Harris was saying, they don't know who they are. So when you look at who paying their light bill, they're not going to go against the grain. I believe that I can say two of the realest ones that we kind of do have is Abby Phillip and Victor Blackwell from CNN. And it's only so far that they can really go before they, be out the door as well. And the only reason why it is because we don't really own nothing. You know, I'm going to give you an example. If Mimi wanted to go outside and paint her law office, she can go outside and paint the law office. You know, some of us are not in positions to even make powerful decisions, right? So that's why they got to go along to get along.
And I'm going to add this to that, Aaron, though, because this is just my perspective. I'm going to just add on to that. Until all of us are in a position to be able to be the captain of our own fate, the master of our own destiny, all of us have a responsibility to keep fighting for all of us.
That's right.
Just because you made it don't mean you can say, oh, well, me and mine are good. And then not try to help everybody else with your voice, with your talent, with your time, with your education, with your opportunity. And that's the problem with us. Too many of us get somewhere and then turn their back on where they came from.
And I heard you mention W.B. Du Bois. He was part of the problem as well because
He
let's
was.
not forget.
I was just explaining
he
that to
laid up there.
Gerard. I was just explaining
He
his
laid up there and
talented
headed
10th
on.
concept.
That's right. And he also headed on the Honorable Marcus Garvey and got him not just deported from New Orleans, but out the country. And it's that type of mentality that we fight even to this day because most of the black bourgeoisie that we have in some of these rooms, community, and well, let me rephrase that. As far as helping our community is nowhere on their mind because what they have to do, they have to show white folks, so-called white folks, that they are willing to compromise and be accountable and accommodating to them, not to us. Look at some of our black politicians right now. They make every excuse, even when it comes to coming to WBOK. They make every excuse on why they can't come here. But then they go on the other side as soon as they go to calling. Can't wait to go over there and whistle Dixie. But they can't come on shows like this. And I know Galloway was being nice, but I'm going to go ahead and say it. If the mayor do decide to come to WBOK, I guarantee she going to go on that morning show. She ain't coming on here because she don't want to be accountable for some of the stuff she said she was going to do, as well as some of the stuff she did as it relates to our community.
I'll bet 500 on that one. You know, and I'm going to say this. I'm going to add to this because some of us, like me, are excluded from black bourgeoisie rooms because we are too vocal, too militant, and too inclusive.
It ain't going to be bought and paid out.
Right. And in some of those rooms, if you don't go along to get along and keep it closed off so other people can't have an opportunity, okay, then they don't want you in that room. Mm-hmm. So, you know, this W.E.B. Du Bois mentality of the talented 10
that's right.
lives on today in some of these rooms.
To this day. And it was not no coincidence that y'all got that mistakenly, but unmistakably phone call. Things like that. This is the year of exposing people. And like I told y'all before, it's going to be a whole lot more that people who we look up to going to be getting cut down, not by us, by their own deeds. That phone call needed to happen. All right, y'all. Peace.
All right, A.A. Ron.
Yeah, you're right.
Look, and my grandma said, tell the truth and shame the devil.
Yes, indeed.
Tell the truth and shame the devil. It's true though, Gerard.
Yeah.
I mean, this talented 10th mentality. I was reading up on this over the weekend, and it just, it's a shame that we're still dealing with it today.
Mm.
You know, I don't think that you have truly lived up to your potential if you have made it, but you haven't helped somebody else to make it.
How many folks have you heard that, they give you kudos on your help and the number of people that you help? Same here. And I'm not, stroking myself, but I'll try to help anybody that has proven that they're truthful, down with the cause, can stand, 10 toes down with you. I'm always going to be that person and even help people make their careers. But I think that a lot of us, on the other hand, take advantage of that opportunity and think that you can't tell the difference between the two. And telling the difference between the two is knowing when somebody is BSing you and somebody that's pulling your strings just to pull your strings so they can get what they want, or are they really true for the cause? And the older that you get, the more that you can sit up and say, they ain't true, or they don't know what they're talking about, or they're not for you. Just be careful. I mean, we at least had that I'm talking about you and I. We have that conversation at least once or twice, at least once or twice a month. Because somebody's always coming at you, want you to be a part. I mean, you just had that conversation. I'm not going to tell you who it was, but you just had that conversation with me on Friday. As soon you got to think about it, but you told me, why you take the picture?
Oh, yes. Why'd you take the picture?
Now you know why.
Now I know why, yeah.
Because I already knew it. I already knew. Some things you know and some things you just don't show.
Well, you're better at that than I am. I'm the kind of person, and those of you who know me. If I like you, you know it, and if I don't like you, you know that too.
If you like me and you know it, clap your hands.
I'm not gonna play the game. I'm not gonna smile with you and keep with you if I'm not down for you.
If you like
and that's
me
just the
and
way
you know
I
it,
am.
Just to show it, then you show it. If you like it and you know it, clap your hands.
You know what you are? Want me to sing your song? I love you. You love me.
Oh, no.
We're a happy family
No.
with a great big hug and a kiss from me to you.
And a patty
Won't
whack.
you say you love me too?
Barney.
I'm not going to act like I'm friends with everybody. I'm just not. If I'm with you, I'm with you. If I'm not, I'm not. Let me know where we stand so I know whether I'm crossing the street or I'm shaking your hand.
And at the people that we consider
I'm crossing the
associates. I'm not gonna call people friends, but at the people that are associates, I don't even know your name. I'm serious. I don't even know their name. You and I would sit there and go like, "Who is that?" I don't know. That's a shame, but it is true. It is true. No, blame it on my mind. Don't blame it on me.
I'm not going to ask him, how you doing?
All right, y'all. We gotta get up out of here. We will see you on tomorrow. Be good, be safe, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Look forward to talking to you all the rest of the week. Keep it real out there.